I had a talk with one of Nissan's head engineers, Chris Reed, who basically told me everything that he could about this brand new Nissan Maxima.
Well, I mean, the Maxima itself is, we call it our flagship sedan, right? You know, four-door sports car and all that. So we've carried the styling themes that we've created, you know, starting from the Murano, moving over to the sedan and the Maxima. The Maxima really was the first to capture all this. Whether it's, you know, the V-motion grille, along with the kind of the boomerang headlamps and the floating roof. But that's what we really decided to take to the next level with this styling. So again, before we had kind of we're looking at the front, what could we change? We want to give a little more of a vertical strength look, and that's where the black characteristics would come in. At the same time, we had to integrate some of the new safety. So, you know, we've got like this, you know, the safety sealed 360, I'll touch on in a second, but part of the elements of that are the cameras, right? So you got to come up with the forward emergency braking and cameras. So you'll see behind the emblem, that smooth emblem, you're kind of used to seeing a very three-dimensional emblem. Well, actually the camera's right behind that. So it shines through the emblem. And you know, the packaging of a sedan is a lot more challenging because you just have a lot less room to work with, right? So at any rate, that's how we snuck that in behind that. And so then it's about kind of connecting the dots, this V-motion grille, along with putting in the sensors and the sonars and the cameras and all that, and making the styling look good at the same time. So of course it's all new. And then you got the lamps. Lamps before were kind of, I would say they were kind of technical before. These are look more high class kind of luxurious. You can see kind of the segmented look. This was kind of part of the style, and the smoothness and the connection of the the LED across the theme. And then of course it's carrying that same kind of a aggressive but consistent look between the new Murano and the Maxima.
And what style of headlamps are they? Are they LEDs?
These are LEDs, right? So now, you know, in the past, I think we had LED as an option, right? And it was a little high-cost option. We decided to go for the high-tech look, consistent look. So we've got LED on both, you know, and that's a lot to do with performance. And, you know, there's a lot of new requirements out there as far as eliminating glare, but also having the best lighting. We found the LEDs are the best package for that, and that's so front and rear LED, 100%. At the same time, what we have to do is you still have to connect the lines across the car. So we've got the strong kind of wave character line coming through. The key was how to connect that through the lamps. And then as you move to the rear of the car, as I mentioned before, one of our themes here is that floating roof. That's actually not changed, but that's one of the key themes that we're, you know, in our kind of styling kind of a signature, I guess, across these cars. So now you get to the rear of the car. You can see the kind of much more kind of high-tech look of the lamps. And this time we looked at the whole rear, not just the lamps itself, but it's got the whole lower fascia, and you can see the integrated exhaust ports. That's a very high-tech, but also high luxurious look, you know, for this car. So this has totally kind of changed the rear view of the new Maxima, and you can see how the lights have got the consistency. It's LED again. It's got the signature, and we work a lot on that kind of smoothness and consistency of the light piping. We attacked a few things this time, right? I love this interior on the new Maxima, but first step we had to do was the safety, and that safety relates to airbags, right? We now have 10 airbags in the new Maxima, and so that means you've got of course the driver and the passenger, and you've got the seat airbags, but now we have knee airbags in the front to really balance the whole front protection, top star, 5-star, best, good in every category. Rear seat airbags as well. But when you do the new airbags, I mean, there's a size and shape required to them, so they actually affect the packaging of the IP, we call it, the instrument panel itself. At the same time, we went in and we're going to redo that. We might as well redo the IT system. So this has got our latest, we call it our infotainment system. You know, it's got Navi and all that stuff, but it's got our Android Auto and CarPlay. It's kind of our latest generation system, which is connected through telematics and things. And then we looked at what's to kind of repackage a little bit, really to fit within the theme that we had before, kind of give it a wide feeling, the way the styling lines were described. And then a lot of this packaging here, I think we've been tuning over the day, the years to get to this point to have the best kind of customer experience, right? It sounds so simple, like where you put the phone and how you put the charger in, but little things like we added, the two style of USB, the C type and the A type. I mean, I think A lot of us don't even have both of these anymore, but we're taking to the latest generation for technology. And then a good layout for cup holders and switches. But then finally, interior, the colors have changed a little bit, but including the seats, right? This is our new kind of aniline leather, very soft, very inviting and then give a little more of a high-tech diamond feel on the patterns. So basically it's not just colors, because it's new material and new stitching and new character lines, but keeping that same kind of inviting zero gravity seat. At the same time, matching that with the new styled cockpit, which really was to add all the safety in place. And that kind of ties into what we did on the outside as well. So we have kind of two safety-related items that are kind of like more like themes that we're executing now in the new Maxima, Murano included. So it's called a Safety Shield 360. And that is really a suite of kind of active safety. So what I was first talking about in here is kind of the passive safety. So when you crash, the airbags come out. That's the passive safety. Active is really the systems that are looking through the cameras, looking through the sonar and sensors. So the Safety Shield 360 has got that. So it's got the forward-looking, forward emergency braking. It's got intelligent high beam assist, which uses the camera as well, really so that you're driving with high beams all the time, except when it sees somebody coming, it dims them down so you don't have too much glare. Then it's got the intelligent lane keep warning. Then in the back, you've got your rear automatic braking, rear cross traffic assist, which is a radar system that looks basically you're backing out of a parking spot. It sends radar to look and stops the car automatically. And then you have blind spot warning. So that's kind of the suite of product around it. That's your active safety. And I think the final thing is really the rear door alert. So that's a system we've gone across like 9 of our products now. It's basically a logic-based system that so when you leave something in the back seat, it reminds you when you get out of the car, if you didn't get it, it beeps the horn at you to kind of remind you to come back. There we go. All right, well, this is our bread and butter, right? This is our V6, our combination V6 and CVT engine. So we love, this has got 300 horsepower in this four-door sports car, right? So this package really works. And we've it's working so well. We didn't mess with it too much, but we're always kind of basically improving that drivability, that kind of response feeling back from the customer. So how you push the accelerator pedal, what your response is, how the shift points are. This is a very aggressive kind of a sports car type feeling in those shift points, but so far it's been well received and really well executed.
Good deal. And front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, what are the drivetrain options you have exactly?
Yeah, this actually has a front-wheel drive package. So, obviously the new Altima came out with the all-wheel drive as a new strategy, so we're going to see how that's received by the customer, but right now we got front-wheel drive on the Maxima.
So, possibly we might see that all-wheel drive system in the new Maxima?
Yeah, you never know, right? What it takes is, obviously we have a great feeling about it that all customers are going to love it, so when that happens, we can do about anything, right?
Good deal. And in terms of fuel economy, pretty much the same as the outgoing, the 2018?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't want to mess with that. It had really good performance, so we kept it's the same as the previous model.
Okay, so I think a couple important questions we have to cover before we finish off here. Number one, pricing information. Do we know anything about that yet?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's TBD, but it's coming out soon. This is coming out in the winter. In the next month or two, you'll see this car in the dealers, and along with the new Murano, we're excited about it. I think pricing is soon to follow.